This next section is interacting with children, and in order to protect our team members and the children in our care, we need to promote appropriate interactions and journey kids. Touch and language are powerful and important tools in working with children. They have the power to communicate warmth, concern, and care to a child. When used with common sense and concern for the child's benefit, they enhance trust and safety in a relationship while affirming and reciprocating the child's worth as a person. Healthy touch and language needs to be a conscious choice. Remember that a parent may have never met you before. Keep in mind that a parent might be comfortable observing between you and their child. Leaders should not do anything that someone could easily misinterpret as inappropriate behavior. So this next little section is actually very long. So don't think anything by me saying little, because it's not little. So we're going to go over some appropriate and inappropriate interactions with children. And I'm going to start with the appropriate interactions. And so we just want to remember that love and care can be expressed in the following appropriate ways: by taking a child's hand and leading him or her to an activity, putting an arm around the shoulder of a child who needs quieting and comforting, short congratulatory or greeting hugs, patting a child on the head, hand, shoulder, or back to affirm him or her, holding a child by the shoulders or hand to keep his or her attention while you redirect the child's behavior, gently holding a child's chin to help him or her focus on what you are saying. And that's very important for children with attention deficit disorder. You might also realize that those children with sensory needs may also just need you to hold them or touch them during the Bible story time, and they're going to pay more attention and be more engaged. So this is also holding a young child under kindergarten who is crying, high fives and fist bumps, and then young children under kindergarten can sit in a team member's lap, maybe while you're reading a book or during the Bible lesson. But do not force physical contact, touch, or affection on a reluctant child. A child's preference not to be touched must be respected. So this is also verbal. So appropriate interactions with children that are great verbally. This is going to be cheering a child on with positive language, praising a child for improved behavior, appropriate jokes, stories, positive reinforcement, taking both of the child's hands as you say, "You did such a great job." Or you might say, "I'm so glad to see you. We missed you." There's a lot of different things that fit in that example. And then I'm going to finish with bending down to the child's eye level and speaking kindly and listening to him or her carefully. So just getting at their eye level just really speaks volumes to them and to their heart. And then nonverbal communication, that might look like just your tone of voice, how loud you're speaking, eye contact, and then other nonverbal communication. That speaks volumes to a child and helps them feel safe and secure in your presence. And just remember, too, that a lot of times you might think you need to raise your voice to get attention in a classroom, but really, if you talk softer, they have to be quiet to listen to you. So just remember, too, that your tone of voice means so much to a child. So on that note, I'm going to now switch over to what might be inappropriate when you're interacting with a child. And so here are things that you need to avoid. Please avoid these things. You need to avoid kissing a child. That's even an infant, even if it's a very close friend's child that you see regularly and you might kiss in other situations. You're not going to kiss them at Journey Kids because someone else might see you doing that and they don't know how close you are in relationship to that family and might think it's very strange. So please do not kiss any children. You might, or even coax a child to kiss you. No extended hugging or tickling. Please do not touch a child in any area that would be covered by a bathing suit, except when you're assisting a child when you're taking them to the bathroom. When we've talked about that earlier in the restroom policies, don't let a child sit in your lap in a darkened room or when there are no other adults present. Do not grab a child by any joint. That might be their elbow, their shoulder. Do not spin a child by his or her limbs. Don't toss or push a child in any way. There should be no physical contact of any kind that is done for the pleasure or satisfaction of care providers. You need to avoid carrying older children. That's kindergarten and older. And you need to avoid having them sit on your lap. Do not be alone with any children. That's one-on-one. Any one-on-one situations, you need to avoid that. Please avoid prolonged physical contact. Anything that might be considered seductive or suggestive in contact with the child. Please avoid any touching used to express power or control over a child. And please do not touch a child in anger or disgust. If you're angry at a child, that's when you probably need to just take a break, that you need to maybe just back away and take some time to just really calm yourself. And so I'm going to finish with the verbal things to avoid that are inappropriate. That's going to be cursing, off-color, sexual or scary jokes or stories, shaming or humiliating comments, derogatory, belittling remarks, harsh language that may frighten a child, threatening to withhold food or water, lying to a child, calling a child by inappropriate nicknames or singling them out with a nickname, implying that a parent or guardian will not return if a behavior or attitude does not change, or threatening a child with any form of corporal punishment. So we also want to just end with our special note that you'll find in the guidelines. While piggyback rides or children climbing on you is not an inappropriate behavior in and of itself, but it's inappropriate for a place like Journey Kids. So we're going to ask that you do not allow children to climb on you or treat you like a jungle gym, or don't wrestle with them or give them piggyback rides. Thank you.